Please welcome to the stage. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to see you again. Well, to see you, but not see you. I'm so happy for you to see me and for me to feel like I am seeing you. That made a lot more sense in my head. So I'm always excited for you all to visit my channel, but today is extra exciting because it marks 1 year, or about 1 year, since I restarted my YouTube. So I've been on YouTube since I was about 13 years old, and I've been making videos since basically what feels like when YouTube started, which is kind of crazy to think that I was a teenager around the time when the social media revolution happened. And now I'm old. I'm in my midlife crisis, and it's the middle of a quarantine pandemic, and I'm single, and I don't know where my career is going. And enough spiraling on camera, you guys don't need to see that. So I have been on YouTube since I was about 13, and I've been making like tons of crazy videos and kind of vloggy and ranty videos, but I feel as though I've kind of evolved and grown, as we all do, growing into adults. There was a time where I just took a really long break from YouTube. It was about the time when Google bought it out and I couldn't remember the password to my old YouTube account. If you still want to watch cringy 13-year-old videos that I made when I was 13, please feel free to look up Doggy Green. I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed to it on my page, and it's a featured channel, so you can go ahead and make fun of me. But in celebration of my official 1 year being back on YouTube, I asked my friend Vivian to help me redesign and revamp my channel. As you can see, I have pink hair today to match my cute new logo. Super duper grateful. You probably saw my new intro, and then you're gonna see my new outro, or my new end card. Vivian designed it. She's a great designer, and she even went above and beyond and created some social media cards for me. I'm just super grateful for her. So make sure you go follow her at Graphics by Vivian. She's got a ton of great designs, a lot of Star Wars, a lot of Taylor Swift. So it really caters to the kind of person you are. But yeah, thank you so much, Vivian. Mwah. There's one more thing that I'm excited about, and I'm ready to introduce her. Please welcome to the stage Princess Azula in her debut YouTube video. Here she is. Unlike her mom, she is a bit camera shy, and so she is holding on to me for dear life right now. Say hi, Azula. Oh, hang on. Come on, baby. It's okay. It's okay. I will not let go of you. I think she may have been dropped when she was younger. So this is Princess Azula. I adopted her about 1 month ago on July 3rd, and it was a whirlwind process. So I moved to Florida about 2 years ago. And I love dogs. I grew up with doggies my whole life, and so I've always wanted to adopt a dog. But it wasn't until about late last year that I really pushed for my campaign of Doggy 2020. I asked all my friends to make it a hashtag, so I pushed for the Doggy 2020 campaign. So about December of last year, that's really when I wanted to start looking for a dog. And I even made it one of my New Year's resolutions was to adopt a dog. You know, months passed, a lot of things happened between December and today, of course. As we all know, there's like a lot of things just going on in our worldly lives, and there's a lot of things that was going on in my personal life. So in the month of June is when I really started like looking for dogs. Like I started actively applying, actively looking for a dog, and I got a lot of rejections. It was either because my complex doesn't allow pit bulls, which breed discrimination is always super sad, but that's the rules, or because I live too far away from the shelter, or just for another variety of reasons. So it was kind of disheartening. Being rejected is never fun. So during this time of looking for a doggy, I had this app called Pet Finder. It showed me the different types of dogs and different types of cats, as well as like other animals, like a very small amount of other animals. She's very camera shy. She does not like to really be held. She loves to play, but I also like woke her up from a nap to film this. Like I always look through Pet Finder every single day. I finally found a doggy that was a Yorkie and his name was Pisces. And I was very interested. Pet Finder usually listed the shelter's name and or the contact person if it's like through a foster. And so I looked up Polka Dogs Pet Rescue and I started looking through their adoptable dogs. Pisces was really cute, but then there was this other dog named Uriah that was a schnoodle, I believe, and she was so precious. She was very, very cute. Like her little face just looked like she was smiling at me. And I applied for her. I applied for little Uriah. And so the process was, it went insanely crazy. So I applied that Friday, and then that Saturday morning, I got a call from one of the coordinators at the rescue, and he interviewed me, and then he was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna call your references because I had to fill out a full application. So the next day he called my references. My friends had told me and they were like hoping for the best for me. I hadn't really told anyone that I was adopting a dog because I'm always afraid that things won't really push through. But yeah, so that Sunday my friends told me that they had gotten the call and they were interviewed. So the coordinator called me back and he was like, everything looks good and we're just gonna schedule a home visit. So the next day he called me again. He's like, hey, did the foster parent get in touch with you? And I was like, no, they didn't get in touch with me. And so he was like, okay, well, I'll let you know by end of today. And then a few minutes later he called me back and he was like, so because of the dog's health issues, the dog had epilepsy, they decided that it was best that she wouldn't go to me. Because even though I'm currently working from home, I may end up going back to the office at some point. It's best for someone that can always take care of her, which I totally understood. And we still pushed through with the home visit. So the next day, Tuesday, I believe, one of the volunteers from the shelter came to visit my apartment and just made sure everything was good. And that way my application and my home visit would already be recorded, and in case like another doggy came about. So the same day, on Tuesday, the coordinator had told me that they were getting a group of 12 dogs to the shelter, or to the rescue from the shelter. They were like lovingly named them the Dirty Dozen. And they were doggies that came from a hoarding situation. They were looking for homes. And I was like, of course, I'm so interested. The open house was essentially on a Saturday. And I'm like, yeah, please sign me up. I'm so excited to go visit some doggies. I'm really looking forward to it. So I had been approved. My home visit, everything went well. I'd been approved. My references were cleared. Everything was going great. So that Wednesday, I get a call from the coordinator again. And he told me that the Dirty Dozen and the meet and greet had become so popular that he didn't want me to miss out. And so he informed me of some dogs that hadn't been claimed yet. And so he told me a little bit about them. He didn't really know them that well because they hadn't been there for very long. I believe all the doggies had only been there for a couple weeks. When I was looking through the list, they were all named after zodiac signs. And if you know me, you know I love zodiacs because I'm a Leo. And I know one of them was Scorpio, and there was a few others, and my memory's like slipping. But there was one doggy named Virgo. If you know me well, I have an affinity for having Virgos in my life. And I didn't really see any pictures of her. The only picture I'd seen of her was when she was like matted before and like when she was first rescued from the hoarding situation. I'm gonna go with Virgo. And he's like, okay, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I wanna adopt her. Like I said, totally going in blind here. There was another volunteer that was working with me, and she was super nice. Her name was Renee, and she had emailed me and we were like scheduling some time for me to come on Saturday, but then the coordinator had let her know that I was gonna go ahead and adopt Virgo. This was a Wednesday night. I had literally just logged off from work. So Renee had reached out to me and was like, oh, do you wanna come in earlier than Saturday? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, I'd love to come in earlier. And so she was like, do you wanna come tomorrow or Friday? And me, who has been looking for a dog and I was ready to take the leap of faith, I was like, I'm gonna come tomorrow after work. Thursday, I had a normal work day and then I logged off a few minutes early and I drove all the way to Howey in the Hills, Florida. So I went to the rescue and it was such a cute little rescue on this like large lot of land. And then one of the volunteers brought out Virgo, who was this tiny little baby who was just so scared of everything. And she was just like so frightened and she barely wanted to be held. And her skin was flaky. Even though the shelter was giving her treatments and taking care of her, like it still takes a really long time for anybody, like doggy, cat, or human to like heal from years of abuse. I filled out the paperwork, I paid the adoption fee, I took a cute photo, and soon afterwards, Virgo was on her way home with me. It's always hard to bring in an animal, but it's a little bit harder when you adopt a rescue animal. There is just a lot of like health issues or behavioral issues that you may not know about. It's very different than raising them from a puppy. A lot of people think that she's a puppy because she's got a cute little face. Hello, my love. Azula is actually 10 years old. I'm not training her, she's training me. Virgo seems like a cool name. I love the zodiacs, so I just kind of kept it for probably 2 days. And I just kept thinking, what are some other names that I could name her? I kept thinking, and then I went to sleep, I think a couple days after I adopted her, and then I woke up the next day and I was like, her name's Azula. Look at her. Look at that. Look at that little celebo light. That's my good doggy. And like I said, she is older. She's 10 years old. So it's a lot of us learning about each other. And it's about her like learning how to trust me. I've only had her for a month, and I've been so fortunate that I've had such amazing support from my friends, from my family, and from a lot of my coworkers now turned friends. And I'm so grateful for that. I can see that she is much happier, much healthier than before. She plays now. Every morning I wake up at 7 a.m. to take care of her. She knows when it's feeding time. And she will just approach me, her tail's wagging. She's so excited. She does a little pitter patter on her paws. And sometimes I think she's smiling, and then of course I feed her and she's happy. And now she follows me into the bathroom, which is great, but I'm also like, please, madam, some space, please. So yeah, this is Azula, and this is her 1 month pup date. She has no teeth, so most of the time she's just like sleeping with her tongue out. And she usually just sleeps when I'm in the room. A lot of the times she just gets really anxious when I'm not with her. We're working on it. We're working on a lot of anxiety, a lot of trust, but I love her. And I'm so excited to see what the rest of the months have in store for us. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to introduce you guys to Azula. She is literally the sweetest little baby, and I love her so much. And if anyone wants to help me raise her, let me know. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you again to my friend Vivian. Once again, her @ is @graphics by Vivian. If you want to see more of her really cool designs, thank you to her for helping me redesign this page. As always, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm halfway to my goal of 100 subscribers. Once I get to 100, I'm able to customize my YouTube URL. And I'm really looking forward to not having a really long link with a bunch of random letters on there. Please, please, please subscribe. Please tell your friends to subscribe. And if you want to, you can just have my videos playing in the background. You don't even have to watch me like just talking to you. But I really hope that you watch this video, if not for me, for Azula. And for the great designs that Vivian made. Like, oh my goodness. Like, can we continue talking about how great they are? Thank you for celebrating 1 year with me. Thank you for my subscribers for being with me for the last year. Thank you for the support and the love. And bye. Cheers.